Hi everybody, lovely to see you all again. I have decided to do another perfume favourite, so more perfume favourites, because I have a little addiction, or maybe shall we say appreciation, of perfume. I think it's so important to the way you feel, and it translates into the way you dress, the way you're dressing, what image you choose to project. So perfume is such a sense of self-expression, and it should always please you, nobody else. That's why I like doing these videos actually, because it gives you an insight to discovering new perfumes unless you actually browse in a department store or perfumery, and then sometimes you do feel a little bit pressured to show an interest in something that you might not. It's nice to have an understanding of somebody else's description of a perfume and what it means to them, and then maybe you might go out and actually seek that one out as opposed to sort of just ambling. And often I smell perfume on somebody else and I'm sort of intoxicated, and I go and ask, and I say, that's so beautiful, but then I might try it and it's maybe not so great on me. It is an expression of whether or not it works on your skin and suits your personality. So at this time of year I tend to seek out warmer, more profound, more woody, maybe deeply strong, oud-y fragrances. I'm not a fan of oud, but if it's a base note mixed with something else, it can be spectacular. But what I've done today is I've chosen some new favourites, and they really are going to become absolute favourites. I'm enamoured of each and every one, but I've divided them into two specific categories. So the warm, autumnal, exciting for the new season and going into Christmas. But I'm also mixing my long-standing favourites, which are herby, perhaps citrusy, light, because I don't like wearing such a deep perfume first thing in the morning, but I need to wear perfume all the time. So first thing in the morning, after showering, I put my perfume on. So this brings me to the first product. This is a Jo Malone. They do so many different ranges, and this falls within their Cologne range, and it's a Cologne tea. They have various different types. I'm not sure actually. I'll need to go back to the drawing board and find out. There's a Darjeeling one, I know that for sure. This one is an absolute favourite of mine. It's called Jade Leaf, and it's evocative of smelling a really aromatic green tea. There's not too much sweetness, there's a freshness, and this is a good spritz. And being a cologne, it doesn't have the deepest staying power, but it means that you can put it on. It evaporates fairly quickly on the skin, but it will rest on fabric. Anyway, carrying on in that vein, I am also still reaching for this, which is probably much more of a typical summer fragrance. It's a Tom Ford from their Portofino range, and it's Neroli Aqua. And Neroli is orange blossom, which is one of my all-time favourite scents, and so many use orange blossom now. I think Jo Malone brought out a pure orange blossom a few years ago, maybe 8 years ago. And I think Michael Kors, or maybe not Michael Kors, Elie Saab brought out a very deep orange blossom fragrance. But it's not really been traditionally a fragrance that's been used, a bottom note that's been used historically. It's more popular now. This is a very, very summery fragrance, yet translates well into autumn when you want to feel fresh and vibrant. Again, it's a real cologne scent. So if you like a traditional cologne, this is actually just as much masculine as it is feminine. It can be worn by a man very successfully, and I quite like those fragrances that translate through and they're not particularly one thing or another. So again, to move on to something that's non-specific, non-gender specific, I have made a wonderful new discovery which is just exceptionally beautiful. It's by a range called Clive, which is quite an exotic range. I believe they're stocked in Fortnum and Mason in London, and Harrods. I'm sure they sell online as well. This is called Rock Rose. It's a really superb perfume. put it on and you're first sort of enveloped with a sense of a male, really powerful aftershave. It doesn't stay like that for long. It mutates as good perfumes should, and it's exceptional. It's got a deep rose which is not sweet, it's not cloying, it's not sickly, it's very powerful. I actually think this is a totally seasonal perfume. This I would definitely wear this time of year. It's beautiful, and the packaging is, again, quite masculine, I think, which I like. I think it's lovely. So to move on to something that's a masculine packaging, to something that's very frou-frou and feminine, this is the most cute, gorgeous bottle. It's by Annick Goutal. It's her new fragrance. It's not been launched yet in the UK. It's going to be coming in the new year, January, I think. It's called Tenue de Soirée, and you've got this cute little pom-pom on the bottle here, which is really lovely. You can do what you want with the pom-pom. I suppose you could put it onto a bag or whatever, or keep it on the bottle. This is a lovely graded bottle as well. I think you can see it's very deep purple and then goes through to completely normal glass there. So it's glamorous. It's in actual fact, I think the storyboard for this is of a very glamorous, gorgeous looking young lady getting ready to go out at night, and it's Paris based. A really lovely ad. The perfume is, Annick Goutal have not disclosed what the components are of this. There's definitely an iris, strong iris note. It's quite fruity as well. There's something that feels almost like a blueberry. It's absolutely beautiful, and for those who like to line their bottles up on their dressing table and the bottles to look glamorous, which I think is just as much part of the fun of perfume as well as the scent, then this would probably be something that people would want to get. To go to another new launch, I already mentioned this actually in I think my last video. It's L'Artisan Parfumeur, which is a French niche brand. They really know what to do with their perfumes, quite incredible. It's similar to Annick Goutal. This is called Arcana Rosa. It's a rose again, but very different to the Clive Christian. I think that's the lovely thing about rose now, that perfumers are being more bold. They're not sticking a rose into something that's just maybe sickly or rose petally and fresh. They're using it in a bold, profound way that's a little bit more dark. This is a very dark fragrance. The bottling, of course, is really cool with this bee on it. I use this every day. It's absolutely amazing. It's my evening perfume at the moment. It's kind of my, I would say probably my absolute favourite. I'll put this on and I won't have to think about whether or not it's going to stay. It stays on exceptionally well, beautiful, as does the Annick Goutal as well, actually, I have to say. The better the product, the longer the scent will stay on the skin. It's always worth getting an eau de parfum if you want the, or a parfum, rather than an eau de toilette, because that will obviously evaporate and there's more water content. So if you want a fragrance that will actually linger around and stay with you, then you need to choose a deeper, stronger perfume, and a little will go a long way. And I'm actually going to be a bit going into the rose theme over the top now, but this is by Tom Ford. It's called Café Rose. Again, it's another rose. Again, it's put in a rather dark context. It's been a favourite of mine for about 2 years, and I don't know why I didn't put it in my other favourites video, probably because I was overwhelmed with the amount of perfumes that I was bringing into the equation, and maybe also it was a different time of year when I filmed that, and so perhaps this is more, this is a deep summer fragrance at night, or again another wonderful autumnal perfume. Packaging is just beautiful. There's a bit of a theme going on here, I think, with my perfumes, these kind of like purples and dark glamorous bottles. Having said that, if the bottle's good but the perfume isn't, I wouldn't even think about it. This takes me to my last one. It's a real old favourite. Guerlain have reincarnated their favourite Shalimar, and they've made what they call a Souffle de Parfum. So it's a softer, slightly, I don't know, new interpretation, but it's very much still Shalimar. I love the bottle with this blue. It's so pretty. Shalimar, you will, I can't imagine anybody not liking it actually. It's quite a specific one. If you wear it, people tend to say, oh my goodness, that's Guerlain Shalimar, I remember it. It's a memorable fragrance, a little like Chanel No. 5. And this Souffle has probably a different component, a new addition into the senses that maybe wasn't in the original. But I like the way perfume houses actually take a traditional, really favourite scent and then mix it up and make it more modern for a younger, new audience, a new customer. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at these and going on my scent journey. If you do get the chance to walk past any Selfridges or the Joe Malone shop or Tom Ford and specifically try, go in and ask, because obviously people will always just give you a scent to take away, and let it just rest with you, and don't ever be impulsive with perfume. Although I have a lot of perfume, I'm not impulsive. I tend to try and try and try again, and that is when I'll buy. I'm never an impulse buyer. So I think these are quite special, they're quite singular and they're quite different, and they just reflect where I am right now with my perfume love. So I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me some comments, I love the feedback. Do please follow me on Instagram as well, I'll put the link below, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye!